Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. How you guys doing today? Just wanted to welcome you to another YouTube video. Today we're going to do a youth football drill. This drill was sent in by one of the coaches that I used to coach his son, and he had bought my books here recently and started running the Power Wing Beast offense. Just won the Super Bowl over in Grapevine, Colleyville, beating Southlake, which is a big powerhouse youth football group here, and won his Super Bowl last season. Did really well running the Power Wing Beast offense. So he had developed the drill here, and I've run something similar, but he had put it all together in PowerPoint here, and he said this really helped his new backs that hadn't been associated with the Beast offense before. How to run the Beast tank, since that's the main play, which is that power 16, 18, whatever you want to call it there, out of the Beast single wing. So let's get right into it. And again, I want to thank Coach Steve Mason with Grapevine, Colleyville, Mustang Panthers for sending this in. If you guys have a drill that you are using with my system and like it, please definitely send it over to me and I'll highlight it in my YouTube. But again, thanks to Coach Steve. Hey, so the goal of his, and you can read it up here on the thing, but I'll just read it also for you. I may turn this into a podcast so the podcast guys hear it. So he calls this his Beast left-right tank rushing pod drill. And the goal of this is to teach his players to attack the tank hole and run tight to the line. Players run tight down the line against the blocking pads, hitting the tank hole at full speed. Volunteer coaches will hold some blocking pads to hit the runner as he gets through the hole, and then there's some coaches that are going to roll tackle wheels at about 4 or 5 yards to simulate linebacker and cornerback kind of blitzing in, and he's going to roll those at him, and then there's going to be a cone set up about 10 yards away, which he'll cut outside of there. So I like this drill a lot. I've run something similar, like I say. So what he's got set up, he says he usually sets up a full line of rings, but just when they're doing it with backs, and just has his center snapping, which is always good to get your center as many reps as possible. So that really helps. You can run it with a coach doing it, but for overall, I'd probably have your center snapping the ball. Where he's got his linemen set up, he's got like those 2-foot rings, those agility rings. I use those. You can use whatever if you're using garbage cans or cones or whatever, you can use those. But set those up to simulate a lineman so your backs understand what's going on there. I do set up a line of cone like he had. He's got a line of cones right off of the guards, kind of outside foot to make sure, up against the line to make sure the back, we don't want the back false stepping backwards or sideways. We actually want him to get into the guard. So that cone helps him to get straight into the line of scrimmage, because this Beast versus a regular single wing kind of power play, the Beast power play, is a little bit different than the single wing. We're trying to, it's almost wedgy in a way. It's almost like a flying wedge. So I like the guy to get into the guard tackle and scrape his elbow, inside elbow against their butt. So we want the back kind of hitting that guard tackle hole right there pretty tight. And it's really not down the line. You're almost stepping into them as they make that block. And then there's another set of cones that I like to set up, but he hadn't set up on this drill. I set it up kind of in the midsection of where the play side tight end's going to be, or maybe on his inside foot, because we don't want him going wide. We run the Beast wide worm sweep, which is the wider play out of this, or even a Beast sweep, which is the wider play. This is really a 16-18 power right at those two holes, and the back kind of reads that. And so we don't want him going any wider than that, because we're normally going to kick out that DN. We don't want him running into the DN there. and then we've got 2 blocking backs that are going to come up through that. So in this drill, you've got the center, you've got your ring set up, you've got your cone set up, so he stays tight to the line and doesn't go too wide. We make sure he doesn't go wider than the overloaded 8-hole. We actually want him kind of at a 6.5-ish to 8-hole there, not really getting that much wider. He's then got 2, and he's got bags set up, which I like a lot. I do this for running wedges and things, and I like this. He's got 2 long agility bags, like the 3-footers, that he's laid down, so the back knows not to go through that hole. He's got the hole marked really by 2 coaches holding 2 of those agility bags or shields up, that the back is going to have to run through there, power run through low, not standing up, to get through there. And then he's got, so that's pretty much within, I would say, 3 yards, 2 yards of the line of scrimmage, those 2 coaches, because we want that simulating him having to break arm tackles through maybe 2 tight defensive tackles that might have shifted over. And then he's got 2 coaches with tackle wheels back there. They're going to roll, those are probably at 3 or 4 yards linebacker depth, that are going to roll toward the runner as he breaks out from the open line of scrimmage. And so you'll want that back to break through the 2 coaches and then throw the wheels at him, so he, or you might make it difficult and just throw it all at him at one time. But that simulates the corner or an outside linebacker coming in, an inside linebacker coming in, and trying to grab the back there. And then there's a cone set up about 10 yards out where the back will cut outside of, and I like our backs where we're running anything outside of the B gap on offense. 90% of the time, I like them cutting outside to the ladder, and the ladder is what I call the yard line hash marks down the sideline of the field. So we want that back cutting to the sideline, because everybody's usually into the middle. We don't want the back cutting back inside unless there's just a bunch, which some defense will stack the outside, and that's okay. But for the majority of time, we want the back hitting that angle toward the sideline and running that ladder that's 3 yards wide, right down the numbers and the yard line hashes on the sideline there. And so we've got that. Let's see what else he's got. So again, he's got his main running backs, and he's running all his 4 or 5 beast backs through. That's what I like to do. All your backs should be able to run this beast power play, and really all these beast offensive power plays, all your backs. Some of you guys may just run the beast single wing as a power short yardage formation, which is what I do sometimes. When I have some speedier backs and I'm running maybe the spread, spin, double wing concepts, but I still will use beast for my short yardage and kind of wedge plays. So get all your backs, run them through it. He's got a line here, as you can see, a line of backs behind the cone, and they rotate through. So all his backs get used to taking the snap and going through and learning where this main beast power hole is. I like, and you can also do this, and he's got it because we run a lot out of my beast stuff versus my fat, which is usually in a shotgun. I usually run my beast stuff under shotgun. You can run beast stuff out of a short shotgun, and you can certainly have this set up to do that if that's what you're doing there. Just move the back to the end of those 4 cones that you've got setting here and take the shotgun snap, and he'll still want to come forward like it's almost a wedge and then cut through that. But this is a great drill, really, just to do your hit points for the backs on where they want to be hitting the hole, and really going for their targets, so they get used to running that. And that's a great drill there. So again, thanks to Coach Steve Mason. I've actually got another. I kind of put my little spin on this, as I always like to do recipes when I cook, is add on to this. So here's some things that that we've done in the past, and a couple of add-ons we've got here. So in the expanded version of this drill, you can still set it up with cones, or you can do with the power line, with your power side line in the center, or just with Tex. And so you get an idea they can block down, and Tex can do his bowling ball thing. And so you can either run it with rings or live people walkthroughs. It's really how you want to do it there. I've added a yoga ball at about 10 yards to roll at the back. This is after the 2 tackle wheels. That way the back for sure does not cut back inside, because you want to simulate either a free safety or corner doing a downfield pursuit after that back. So he knows that if he does cut back 10 yards downfield or 12 yards downfield, so he's going to find traffic still with a cornerback maybe chasing him from the backside. So we want that simulated there, because I really want to simulate the ladder drill, which he runs to the ladder as much as possible, because young backs really like to cut back. You know, you'll get a back here and they want to cut back, and they'll cut back right into this dude. So we really want to simulate for the back that he's got a lot of pursuit from the midfield and get his butt to the outside where there's nobody usually but one dude. I mean, 10 guys are usually in the middle of the field, and there's usually one maybe sitting over deep. So we want to simulate that. I have added in the 3 blockers, which I think after you run the drill like Steve has originally, Coach Steve has originally, I would add in the 3 blockers now in the beast and set them up properly, those power sniffers there, the 3 power wings. And get the outside guy. I like to kick him out and get a coach. I've added the coach here as a DN, so we're going to kick out that guy. The 2 backs, the guy, the sniffer power back that's over the power tackle, I call him the tank driver. He's actually going to drive the tank right off of Tex's butt and come around and get the inside linebacker there. And then the most inside blocking back is going to kick out or pick up the first bad guy that hits the hole. And so you can kind of simulate the timing of the backs going through there. And it'd be helpful to have Tex in here too, so the timing really comes down. And so that's kind of the add. So you can do it with your backs, do it with the running back, do it with the blocking backs, then add Tex, and then kind of go full power side and then full power team. Or at least power side team, you could do this drill, and that'd be kind of the progression there. And so, yeah, so you get the blocking backs going, so they get the timing on that, and then the back understands, the running back that's actually got the ball is going to understand that he's running through the middle of those 2 backs that are going to basically, one's blocking inside, one's blocking outside, and then he's got to run through that traffic. Even if they're in the way, he just needs to understand that, look, he's kind of like it's kind of like pinball. I know a lot of kids don't know what pinball is, but the single wing beast, it's kind of like pinball. You're hitting people, you know, kind of bumping into people as you go in, and that should not inhibit your backs. They should enjoy that, you know, kind of pops as they run through and get light on their feet and get through there. And then he's going to get through all of that traffic, and then of course you've got the yoga ball running at him, which he's going to have to go out and hit that ladder again. And he's, you know, we've got the cone set up so he can't run outside that 8 hole again. We're wanting to keep him to run inside. And instead of having, you know, if you've just got 4 backs over there, you know, you can rotate the line instead of behind a cone. The line is basically the running back and then they go to their blocking back position, and you can still rotate all those guys there through that. But that's the little add-ons there. I've added this yoga ball thing. I've added this. I've added these blockers here, and then the kick-out blocks on there. So those are some things that you can add into that as an extra progression. Then you could add in Tex here and then the power side line for them to get used to stepping over. And that really helps the timing out, because the backs now have to wait for the lineman to get out of there. They have to, the tank driver has to wait for Tex to get over and him come off around Tex's butt, and then the inside guy is going to come off of the butt of that middle blocking back and then kick out the first bad guy that he sees there. But great drill. It really does help new backs that are going to run the beast, and where they're supposed to hit their targets at, and what lanes and how we want them to run this. So once again, thanks to Coach Steve Mason for putting that together. Helped me out. I didn't have to draw it up. He already had that drawn up. And check this drill out if you're running my Power Wing Beast offense and running the beast left right tank power 1618 drill there. So again, great job, and hope you guys enjoyed the drill. That's the Power Wing Beast tank pod. Again, thanks for joining me today. I'm Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up down there. If you have any comments, suggestions, or some drills that you know of, please make a comment. Hey, to really help the channel, and it really pushes our videos to the top, is please subscribe to the channel if you get a chance. That really helps me out with YouTube. YouTube's kind of gotten a little funny there, so it's not just views anymore, but if you subscribe to the channel, and you can hit that down there. Please share the video. That's also a big thing with YouTube if you're sharing. You can head over to Coach Parker and shop the store and buy my playbooks over there. I've got the Power Wing Beast offense, which I've been running forever. And it's more than the beast. There's double wing stuff, there's power eye stuff, there's offset eye. It's a full offense, multiple offensive system that I've used heavily since around 2006. That I've run the beast since '94. There's also my defensive book over there, the 6'2 Multi-8, which is I've been running since 2006, which is based on the 6'2 wide tackle, and then morphs into 5'2", 5'3", 4'3", and a bunch of other stuff, which is great, because that's what the 6'2 does. It's a great morphing defense to help you evolve as all the multiple offenses roll out that you see now in youth football. So yeah, check those out. They're like $24 for an instant download. I've also got hardback copies over there for sale too. Again, this is Coach Parker with CoachParker.org. Thanks so much for joining me today. I'm going to try to put out more youth football drill videos this week and next week as the fall season begins here in North Texas. So remember to play for fun, and winning is funner. This is Coach Parker. Ciao. Have a good one.